Well, Jim, I'm Ken Petzold, and last year I was a management consultant to the Chicago Stock Exchange. They had a international division that they were thinking of doing a divestiture of. We felt we had a reasonable idea of the value of the organization. Reasonable because we could compare it to some of the industry stats for similar kinds of transactions, and in fact we did that. We got valuation. Well, part of Quorum's work was to provide a valuation, so that helped us too. Now, the Quorum perspective on that is that those are valuations to be presented to a buyer. So naturally, you would expect those to be on the high side. But frankly, our own valuation of the organization turned out to be almost exactly what we got. It was uncanny, in fact. The process we went through was basically the Quorum process, which was using their extensive database and very discreetly contacting appropriate people that we had discussed with them in terms of targeted audiences, the financial industries, for example, in our case, and a couple of segues from that. But a targeted list, I think in our case it was 400 or 500 people that were initially contacted in the first pass, and within 2 months, we had that down, I would say, to 24 that still seemed interested. And the process that was used to do that was everyone was a prospect until they said they weren't. So they were very diligent in pursuing the people that could have been buyers of the international division. The ultimate process came down to 4 final bidders, and ultimately a letter of intent with the last one, and then the due diligence process. We had an interesting approach to due diligence. We knew we would get there at some point in the process, so we went to the section in Quorum's workshop book, pulled the due diligence checklist out, decided that we would essentially duplicate that, add to it for all of the subsidiary organizations that were represented in this international division, that is the joint ventures and subsidiaries, and essentially do it ourselves, because we knew anything that we would do we could complete, and if we tripped over something we could do it without doing it in front of the buyer.